everybody, my name is Scott Waters and welcome to Electro Metal. It's time for another edition of What's Spinning. Alright, so what's up everybody, my name is Scott Waters, like I said, and this is No Light to Metal, and we doing another edition of What's Spinning. Basically, some of the CDs and stuff I've been spinning in my car over the past couple weeks. Gotta admit, I've been on a bit of a kick, and I get that all the time. On certain bands, something will happen, I don't know, a new album comes out, someone says something about them, I hear a song, whatever, and I just get stuck on a certain band, and I'll just start listening to their whole catalog. And that's kind of what happened this past couple weeks. I've been listening to a lot of German thrash band Accu. This is their third or fourth album, depending whether you consider the first album a full length or not. This is called Double Talk, and as you can see, it's got a bit of a political vibe on the cover. Got the little mascot, which was on their first few albums, who disappeared after I think it was actually after this album. He was no longer around, but. My least favorite song on this album is Flag Waver, which is an anti-American song. Basically talks about how America is nothing but a war machine. It's kind of bizarre hearing a German band talking about Americans being, war machine, but I'm going to talk more about the, American government than the American people. But still, I don't know, something about that song just kind of irks me. But the rest of the album I love. Had this album since the 90s. This is on, what label is it? Adam H. So this is an original CD pressing. And the CD sound is just bad. It just has no. I mean, my car's got a nice stereo in it, and I can crank this thing up almost. I mean, that's literally cranking the thing almost to full blast to get it to sound really good in the car. Same thing with the home system. It's just very low recording. So this album is actually being remastered and re-released on Roxx Records. So I'm really looking forward to giving the remastered vinyl release a spin. I'm hoping it'll improve that remastering quite a bit. Because that's what it is, just the mastering that's bad on this. You can hear the guitar, you can hear the bass, you can hear the drums, you can hear the vocals. So it's just too low and too flat. But still, a great album. I really enjoyed this album. Still think Accu is one of the better Teutonic thrash bands. Don't get anywhere near the critical acclaim of bands like Creator and Destruction, Sodom, Tankard, bands like that. I think that Accu deserve to be up there as well. Great band that's been around since the mid-'80s, and they're still out putting up great music. And speaking of Accu, this is Dependent Domination. I've showed this one in past videos before. This is one of their new albums. This was 2015? 11. Wow, way off. 2011. And this album is just stupendous. Now, the sound quality on this compared to the sound quality on the other album, so that's the radio compared to the CD right there. So you can tell how much I had it cranked to get the sound right on that Double Talk CD. But this album is it's just fantastic. Pretty sure if it didn't make the top 5 of 2011, I bet it did. I'm almost positive it did. If it wasn't number 1. Of course, the main member of who's been around since the 80s, the only main member of the band is Frank Toms right here. I think that's how you say his last name. Let's skip the intro. Much louder than the other CD. love this CD. It's the kind of stuff that gets you putting the pedal to the metal. I mean, just brutal riffs, killer guitar solos. Love his vocals. Frank Toms actually took over vocals in the 90s, I believe. Anyhow, so there you go. That's the second one, Accuser. And while we're at it, it's just great stuff. I can't stop listening to the album when I put it on. This is from the 90s. This is Accuser. This is Reflections. This album actually came out in the United States on Century Media. A lot of the time, Accuser stuff never was released officially in the US. This one was, as their new album that came out this year is also released on Metal Blade in the United States. This one was released on Century Media. I think this is a German pressing though, on Major Records. Stop Fascism. And this album, like a lot of bands, thrash bands in the 90s, it's got more of a cold mechanical sound, a little more groove oriented, but they never really went for that. I mean, a lot of bands, they just went for like a totally different sound. Accuser never really did. They kind of stuck with their thrash formula, but like I said, they added a little bit of the 90s sound, a little more groove. Anyhow, I know that's going to get me. I played their stuff in the background before and I've gotten copyright strikes, so pretty sure I'll get one on this one too. So if there's an ad, I apologize, that's why. But anyhow, Accuser, Reflections, very cold, very mechanical, very heavy thrash metal, a little bit more mid-paced, a little bit of groove to it. Favorite song here, 6-minute song called Misery. Brilliant song. And I probably should play a little bit of that one too, because I just, like I said, I just been on an Accuser kick for the last few weeks, so I can't seem to get enough of them. But for those who don't know, all their early albums, just before everything up to, but not including this album, were released by No Remorse Records in Greece on vinyl, and their albums are really hard to find, original pressings. So just a heads up if anybody's looking for them. You gotta see you can get that a little more of a groove going on here than you would in that other album, the early stuff. But let me go ahead and put on Misery. Like I said, this is probably my favorite song off this album. Little intro. Picture of the band right there. So it's a very, very sunny day here in Mexico. Hot. Like I said, cold, mechanical, heavy, but still thrash. Another one that'll get you putting the pedal to the metal as you're driving down the road for sure. Gets you a little bit of trouble if you're not careful. And there's your kind of groove riff. Really popular in the 90s for some reason. We all fight for survival. We're doing what we're told. All the time you realize it's more inside my code. Blame it on Pantera. And I know that you do. Sorry. And I know that you know. So there you go, Accuser. So I actually listened to almost all their albums this week. in the last couple weeks driving to and from work. Unfortunately, I got stuck in several accidents. There have been a lot of accidents, so it's been taking me much longer to get home, which is irritating at one way, but another way, I get to listen to music, so, you know, it is what it is. But I did get through the entire Accuser catalog in the last few weeks, so there's 3 of their albums. So next up, this is Gruesome. This is an EP. This is a newer band playing homage to an older style of death metal. These guys are huge fans of death, and that's what these guys sound like, is early death. You know, Chuck death, not dying, but death the bands. And these guys are all from other well-known bands. As a matter of fact, I can't tell you who's from what without looking it up, but it does list on here. Special thanks to our bandmates in Possessed, Exhumed, Castrator, Expulsion, and Dercata. Cover art by Ed Repka. Of course, you have to have a Repka cover if you're going to play, you know, any sort of thrash or early death metal. And that's kind of what you're getting with this stuff. You know, it almost pushes the boundaries of thrash metal. Not quite death metal as you hear it now. The vocals aren't as guttural as they are in a lot of the, you know, 90s till present death metal. Just very, very good stuff. If you like death, if you like that early thrash death mix, check out Gruesome. They have one full-length album that came out before this one. This is their new 2016 release. It is a 6-song EP, all new stuff, but very, very good. Really digging it. And as you guys know, I'm not the hugest death metal fan, but I do like a lot of that early stuff. And I do like some of the more simplistic, you know, grunt and grind death metal, like 6 Feet Under. Anyhow, this fits right in. Just very good stuff. All right, this next band, brand new album. This band hasn't been around for 25 years. This is One Bad Pig. Are they punk? Are they metal? Are they rock? R-A-W-K? Rock? Are they, you know, what are they? Yes, they're all the above. A little bit of punk, a little bit of metal, a little bit of rock. They've always been that mixture of sounds. Even a little bit of, and although it's going to spoil it, even a little bit of alternative rock. But they're a unique animal. They are one bad pig, you know. Nobody really sounds quite like them. I'd say punk is probably what most people would refer to them as, but they mix it up. They have guitar solos. A lot of punk bands don't do guitar solos. These guys definitely play their instruments. They haven't put out an album since a new studio album since about 1991, I believe. So it's been a good 25 years since they put out a new studio album. Over the years, they have gotten together and put out live stuff and compilations, and they've done some, you know, reunion shows. But this is a brand new album. Very, very good stuff from them. If you like One Bad Pig, I'm pretty much sure you'll dig this. I'm gonna head and put a little clip of that into Accuser away. Throw in some One Bad Pig. What's on the radio? Ooh, Triumph. A little Canuck rock. Okay, turn that down. One Bad Pig. This is the first song on here. Love You to Death, which is the title track. Love You to Death. There you go. And honestly, this band falls a little bit outside of my normal listening taste, but I've liked every album they put out, so yeah, I know they just... Vocals Carrie Womack, I believe is how you pronounce his name, more commonly known as Kosher. Still sounds just like he always has. I mean, this is 25 years after, you know, they put out their last album. There he is. So you got some One Bad Pig. This song is called What Does the Fool Say? Oh, no, song number 3 is interesting because song number 3, they've always done like interesting covers. They've done Johnny Cash, they've done Petra, they've done a number of covers. This is the 77s. Yeah, it's a cool cover of the 77s. Another thing that the One Bad Pigs always does, they have always had interesting guests play on their albums. Johnny Cash actually sang on the Johnny Cash song they did back in 89 or 90, whatever album that was back then. And on this album they have on, let's see, the song Get Your Hands Dirty, Les Carlson of Bloodgood sharing vocals with Kosher. You'll hear Les Carlson's the first vocalist that sings. You were sinking deep in sin. Bloodgood fans will recognize that vocals. You were lost, but now you're found. Then washed whiter than snow. Don't be afraid to touch the ground. Don't be afraid to But yeah, One Bad Pig, you know, they are what they are. They're a mixture of metal, punk, even thrash at times, you know. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Is it a crazy bunch of guys? Yep, all of the above. It's One Bad Pig! The homeless poor and needy. There you go. So that's a brand new album from them. Really digging it. Like I said, a bit outside of what I normally show, what I normally listen to, but I really dig those guys. Alright, so what we got next? I can't pronounce this one, but this is a new Metallica live EP that was put out to raise funds for the families and the victims of you know, the attacks in where was it? What was the city it was in? Paris, right? Paris, France. So this actually was recorded live back in 2003 in Paris, France, and it's actually a pretty good recording. It's mostly old material. Of the 9 songs on here, 9 songs, 7 of them are from their first 3 albums. So that tells you, you know, that those are my favorite albums from them. One of them is from the follow-up album, Justice for All, and then only 1 song is from the album they were actually touring on at the time, which is Saint Anger, which in my opinion was a pile of crap. The song on here being the title cut. No, it wasn't. What is on here? Frantic. Which I actually think is one of the best songs on that album. However, listening to it here, mixed in with all their classic material, the song sticks out like a sore thumb. Even with the better production of this live album, way better than that studio album, it's still just, it sticks out. It's not quite, you know, it's just not as good. That's all there is to it. But this is a good live album. Quite enjoyed it. All the proceeds from this go to, apparently goes to people in France. So what does it say here? Libertaire. I cannot speak French, so there you go. Anyhow, Metallica, the live EP. Let's just call it that. I'm not gonna play clips of that. You all know what Metallica sounds like, so. This is one I hadn't heard for a while, so I just pulled out the shelf, gave it a spin. This is on the ARG label. I should look up the year because I can't remember what year this came out now. Had to be the late 80s, but anyhow, this is Siren, and it has a very unfortunate title for this album, Financial Suicide. Why you would name your first, or your album that is, I don't know, just not a bright idea. It seems like a bad omen to me. But anyhow, Siren, Financial Suicide, this is just classic heavy metal, a little bit of speed metal, fans of like Agent Steel, Omen is a band that really reminds me of them. Even like Armored Saint, just that classic heavy metal sound, a few, you know, faster songs, soaring vocals. Vocalist name is Douglas Lee. They also have an unfortunate name for their bass player. Their bass player's name is Les Talent. L-E-S, not L-E-S-S, but still kind of an unfortunate name for a musician. If that's not his real name, that's a really odd name to pick. But you can see it's on the ARG label. ARG. Just great classic heavy metal from Germany, I believe. I believe this band's from Germany, and the ARG label is also from Germany. Kind of cool cover art too. Why not put a quick clip of them in as well? Insane Sale. I only got a couple more to show, so while that's playing, we'll pull up the next one. This is one of the brand new releases from Roxx Records. So next up, this is Malchus, the Evil House. Excuse me, I wanted to say Empire. The Evil House. This is a brand new release on Roxx Records. Just came out this past week. Interesting sound. They're describing it. Roxx is calling it death metal, but it's really not death metal. I don't really hear death metal. Musically, they're like remind me of like a more metal Dream Theater. Very progressive. Very heavy at times, but never death metal. There's no, blast beats or heavy. It's not really super down tuned. I don't know. It's just not death metal to me. And the vocalist kind of sounds more like Lemmy than you like a growled death metal player. So it's like Lemmy singing for Dream Theater. That's kind of what I get out of Malchus. So if you don't like death metal and it's kind of scaring you off from buying this release from Roxx, give it a listen on YouTube or wherever you can give it a listen to, and see if you like it first, because it's really not that sort of death metal that you're thinking it is. Matter of fact, it's not death metal at all. It's just progressive metal with a gravelly vocal. It's not even a growly vocal. It's just gravelly, kind of like I said, like Lemmy from Motorhead. Last one up. This is the other release that also came out from Roxx that I've been giving a spin. I've only got this one to hear this one once, but I liked it a lot. I'm going to probably be spinning it more than the next couple weeks or so. But it's the brand new Pylon, and I love Pylon. Just great traditional slow doom metal. Just doom. That's it is what it is. That's when they are what they are. Check them out if you like doom metal. Check these guys out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Funny thing is, they're also releasing their last album on vinyl through Roxx, and that'll be coming out, I believe, in 2 or 3 months. It's part of that Underground series that they're releasing, number 4 in that series. Can't remember if there's any covers on this one. I don't think there was. The last album had a Slayer cover done in Doom style, which is really cool. This one I don't believe has any covers, not that I remember. And I believe this also returns the band, if I'm not mistaken, to Matt Brand doing the vocals. Let's check it out here. So we got Matt Brand, lead vocals and lead rhythm guitars. Yep, so Matt is back to playing the role of guitar player and vocalist. There's the booklet that comes inside of it. Got the pictures of the band. Obviously heavily stylized and photoshopped. But doom metal from Roxx Records, Pylon, Element, brand new album from 2016. Unfortunately, not available on vinyl yet, but their last album is being released on Roxx and will be out, like I said, probably in 2 or 3 months, probably the end of the year, most likely. And we're going to finish off with a little bit more Siren. And that's going to be it for this edition of the What's Spinning. This is going to be rewind. That's going to be it for this edition of What's Spinning. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down, I guess. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you all later. God bless. Stay strong.
Someone's got some things to pay for the day sets in tonight. Now it's tripping, demons filled with